Mm, welcome. Mm, it's one of my favorite Florida beers. Florida Sunshine Lager from Crooked Can. One of the locals here. I really like it a lot. It's good. All right, I recently watched Enemy Mine. Now, I think this movie is one of those ones either you haven't seen or one of those movies that you haven't seen in a long time. And then when you did see it, it was probably on HBO or some sort of service way back in the day. Maybe the last time you've seen it, if at all. Probably depends on how old you are. If you are an old fuck like me, then you'll remember it. But some of you younger guys, younger gals, probably have never seen it. It's a really interesting movie. It's directed by Wolfgang Petersen, the same director who brought us like Never Ending Story, Air Force One. I need to clear my throat. All right, so Enemy Mine takes place in the future. You have Dennis Quaid. He plays Willis, and he is a fighter pilot on like a space station, kind of an outer rim sort of situation. And then they have these pesky little reptilian humanoid kind of beings called Daleks, and they kind of cause a nuisance around this area. Dogfight out in outer space. He's really cocky. He just thinks like he's gonna make quick work of these guys, and he's gonna end up back home. And then he has this co-pilot. I guess it's his navigator sitting in the back, and they're bantering during the whole time. And the co-pilot's talking about how he can't wait to get back because he's got a date with this woman. And then Dennis Quaid's, oh, you're going out with that girl who's the white balloon.
Isn't that the same Murchison we used to call the white balloon?
Come on, she's lost 20 pounds.
So I guess she's, pleasantly plump.
Like a giant billboard that says no fat chicks?
Them and one of the Dalek ships goes down on this really hostile planet. The kid doesn't make it. So they have a scene, he's got the blood hanging off his mouth, and he's like, hey, well, next time you see my woman, don't call her a white balloon. It hurts her feelings.
Just don't call her the white balloon anymore. It hurts her feelings.
Okay, Joey.
So this is like the first indication this movie is sort of about, again, a challenge this guy Willis, who's this cocky pilot, to become a little bit more sympathetic. Part of the movie that's laying the groundwork for what you're going to see later on. So now you have Willis, this Dennis Quaid, and he discovers the Dalek, right? So the Dalek is also crash landed, and he's got his little spaceship, and he dives under this water, right, to whatever he's doing, clean up or whatnot. And Dennis Quaid takes a bunch of gasoline from his ship, and he douses the whole water, lights it on fire like he's going to kill the guy. But he comes up out of the fire. Dennis Quaid quickly becomes the prison bitch of the Dalek, right? So now he's a prisoner. So now it's like a little bit of a road picture, right? You got Dennis Quaid, and he's got all his gear, and then you got the Dalek in the back there with his little pew pew gun aimed at his back the whole time. And there's a bit of friction, getting to know each other a little bit. He saved your so Dennis Quaid tells the Dalek that he owes him because he didn't kill him.
Look, Drac! I could have killed you easy. You owe me one.
So he didn't save his life, but he thinks he saved his life because he could have killed him and he didn't. So now he owes him a favor. So I think that's kind of an interesting point of view. Is like, because I could pretty much do that to anybody. I could just walk up to anyone in my work or house and go, you owe me because I totally could have just murdered you. I was thinking about murdering you. I didn't murder you, so technically I saved your life. So now you owe me. I think that might go over pretty good. All right, so now they're gonna build shelter, right? Or Dennis Quaid's gonna build shelter while the Dalek watches them and sort of laughs. So Dennis Quaid goes off after these kind of like, they're like turtle shells, but more like turtle shells on these little alien kind of turtley bugs. So he's collecting these, and he ends up getting pulled into this pit. It's like really, really looks like Jabba the Hutt tried to throw Luke Skywalker into, and it's got the genticles coming out and whatnot, grabbing people. So his little gentacle comes out and grabs Dennis Quaid and tries to pull him in. Then you have the Dalek. He shows up just in time, grabs his arm, just like Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, and that thing's hanging on to Lando, and Han Solo's got the gun, the pew pew gun, and then he fires at the tentacle. Same thing happens here. You got the Dalek hung on to Dennis Quaid, and he's got the pew pew gun, and fires it so that he can pull him out of this pit. So a little bit of similarities there. Now they have a place to live. They have this nice hut, right? And they're starting to kind of have like a good little life together. These two strapping, muscular men living in a tight condition together, no women anywhere.
I feel that they should have spent more time where the real story is. I'd like to see more about them old sweaty men's all together in them tiny little cells with no one to turn to but each other's.
So wouldn't you know it, the Dalek gets pregnant. So now the Dalek's pregnant.
She's a slut. Bang.
I await a new life. Oh my God, are you telling me you're pregnant?
But then there's a complication, right? And he's going to die during childbirth. And Dennis Quaid has to basically rip him open to pull the baby out. And the Dalek tells him, you need to raise this child. This child is now your baby. And the Dalek is played by the amazing Lou Gossett Jr. I mean, the makeup effects on him makes the movie watchable just in and of itself. He's got a great look. He's got this great kind of teeth prosthetics, the way he talks and mimics. And then he's got these little kind of bubbly things on the side. He don't really explain what everything's for, but it's really cool. It looks great. And he does a great job, in that outfit. And I know it couldn't have been easy. So, Dennis Quaid had it easy. He just kind of plays himself. Lou Gossett Jr., on the other hand, probably spent hours and hours and hours in makeup to star in this movie. And he does a fantastic job. So he's also religious. I guess his whole clan is, and they have these little Bible things they hang around their neck. So he teaches Dennis Quaid about his religion and all that kind of stuff, so he can teach it to his son when a kid's born. So now the kid's born, and he's growing more at an accelerated rate, right? So they're just kind of lollygagging, having a good time, playing grab ass around their little cave and all that kind of stuff. And the kid too. The kid is really good. He's a great actor. He's also in all these prosthetics, and he has to kind of play someone who's obviously naive and never seen one of his own race, and is struggling a little bit because he doesn't look like his uncle. He calls him Uncle, the Dennis Quaid character. Excuse me. So Dennis Quaid discovers that there's some miners, not miners like little kids, but miners hi ho, that kind of thing. And they're using Daleks as slaves. Okay, so he sees this and he knows that his kid is probably in danger of being captured by these things, so he wants to keep it on down low. But the kid, of course, sneaks out like kids do, and he ends up getting kidnapped. Dennis Quaid tries to save him and pull him out of this situation, but he's unable to. He gets kind of beat down, and then as he's unconscious, he gets picked up or rescued by whoever these space people are. Call them the Federation, whatever. So now he's in a body bag on the space station. So I guess even though that it's supposedly the future and there's a lot of technology, they don't know how to diagnose or figure out whether someone's dead or alive.
Before the surveillance team picked me up, they thought I was dead.
Until they unzip the bag and they try to take his little necklace, and he wakes up. So now he's doing the Luke Skywalker thing. And when he wakes, he's like, I need to get down there and save these people and my boy. And they're like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then he's like, yeah, I am. And then the dialogue is just kind of silly, especially when you consider this is supposed to be like on a space station. These are like military personnel or whatnot. And this guy's like, just let him go if he wants to be an asshole.
Never mind. Let him go if he wants to be an asshole.
Okay. So he takes off. Well, he fires his way off the ship. So he actually uses his guns to blow a hole in the side of this thing so he could fly out. So I guess that's gonna, work out in the end, right? So he goes down to this hostile planet, back on the planet, to find his kid. And at the same time, he's going to, free all the slaves. They actually kind of have a little bit of an uprising once he's, he shows up and they see what he's doing, what kind of trouble he's in. They come to the aid and help him, and then the rest of his crew from the space station, fly in and help him save the day at the very end. And then they all look at each other and say, "This is what it's all about, inclusion." So, and these reptiles aren't our enemies. They're our friends. The movie really is an excellent film. It's dated in some respects, like the special effects and revolving around, or all the special effects that involve this spacecrafts look super cheesy. And I'm not sure if they did it on purpose. Probably not. But looking at it, it kind of looks like those old Flash Gordon serials. They don't quite look. You just can't see the strings, but the rest of it just doesn't quite look right. It looks like a miniature, which it was, but they didn't really do much to cover that up. And this is after Star Wars and whatnot, so you know people were capable of better special effects. I guess that's just what they were interested in. They really sunk their money into the quality of the acting and the casting and the set designs, because there's a lot of sets, kind of similar to like Neverending Story, where it's really set driven. You have these great actors and you kind of move from one situation to another kind of rapidly. It moves fairly quick. And it's dark, just like Neverending Story. It has its moments of grief and loss, and it's got its triumphs and all that kind of stuff. So Enemy Mine does a great job doing that. I watched it with my family, and at first they're like, what the hell is this? Because it's just a little weird. But as it moves along, everyone seemed to really enjoy it. I think in the end, everyone had a good time. Everybody thought it was interesting. I don't know that they love it, but they're, I think, better for seeing it. And now they have one more thing that they've seen that their friends have probably never seen. So, yeah, Enemy Mine, it's kind of one of those great early 80s sci-fi things, that came out, where it's like Last Starfighter, you had Neverending Story, you have Enemy Mine, Flash Gordon, and a ton of other great movies, which I'll list. Here's some poster. There's a poster. There's another one. Oh yeah, that one. There's this one. Oh, forgot about that one. Nice. So you get the idea. So Enemy Mine, I would definitely recommend it. I definitely give it a cheers. Hello. I could probably actually sit down and watch it again, or if you have it on in the background, it's kind of one of those movies. Probably plays great on videotape, just because it fits sort of like that viewing experience. Kind of fits the feel of the production. I think if you watch something in a IMAX or 4K or 100-inch TV or whatnot, and it's something like Enemy Mine or Flash Gordon, you're gonna be like, wow, it really exposes all the kind of silly flaws that it has throughout the movie. So watch it. You're gonna love it. Dennis Quaid, very young. Gossett Jr., fantastic, just amazing. Watch it.